Oh, I'm not even fighting trying to not walk in the water or the mud simply because we had to cross a stream first thing. There was no way to keep your feet dry, and my shoes were dry for the first time since a couple of days ago. I am slack packing Mount Moosilauke or Mount Moosilauke. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Miss Janet drove a carload of us to the drop-off point, and we are hiking toward Hikers Welcome Hostel. During the most scary part, up the really steep section with the wood wedges and the rock, the guys hung back for me and Grit, who is another woman who was hiking. Then we sort of split up. Grit is nursing an injured foot, and there is another couple back there, and the wife is nursing an injured foot. Hikers Welcome Hostel has been so much different than the last time I was there. They've got a huge bunk room, which they didn't have last time. It's a very nice bunk room. It has cooled down, so it wasn't too hot last night, and I've been so grateful to be inside the past 2 nights because it has just poured. Absolutely poured hard rain. The people at both hostels have been very kind. The barn door caters also to rock climbers, and I think a lot of them there do not understand thru hikers or what we're like at this point. There was one guy who did part of a thru hike there, but the people at Hikers Welcome cater to hikers, and they understand. Yesterday, I saw Miss Janet for the first time, and she is an icon on the trail, and she shuttles hikers. And right now, she is shuttling for slack packs here at Hikers Welcome. And I saw her, I'd met her in 2016. I knew she wouldn't remember me, but I told her I met her in 2016, and she said, "How are you doing?" I said, "Well, I had a meltdown yesterday." I knew she was kind and sweet, and I knew she would understand. I knew that She has seen it all. She knows what it's like. And she gave me the biggest, best hug I have had in a long time. And I just started crying. And she started crying. And that was the best part of my day yesterday. And then I started crying when I couldn't get the password in for the Wi-Fi. And there is a guy here, young guy named Sweat Potato, not Sweet Potato. And he helped me. He had to help me scan the password to get it in there. I typed it in correctly and everything. Anyway, I thought that was so kind. And overall, my 0 yesterday was a very good day. I rested a lot. Just surfing the net on my phone in my bed. The mattresses were comfortable. Now for the sleep report. I did not sleep well. I went to bed at 6, woke up at 9, was up until midnight, woke up at around 4, not because I was waking up at that time, but because this looks kind of sketchy. Who knows how deep it is. Anyway, it was another hiker waking up. I gotta put the phone away. Thankfully, people have started making a trail around it, and I am going to take it. The thing that has shocked me, even though I've been through it before, is how volatile one's emotions and mental space can be. 0.4 from Mount Moosilauke. You can be so ready to quit. And you're thinking, there's no way I'm going to change my mind. And then you go into a hostel, you get something to eat, and you're all better. Sometimes it can even happen after you have had your food. You can just have a meltdown or start crying, and then the next minute you're laughing. So, for those of you who are doing it, just be prepared for it. This is why they tell you never to quit on a bad day. And I gotta tell you, this slack pack has been a real morale booster. Today, I feel like I have trail legs. And my pack is very light. So if you're planning a through hike, pack weight makes all the difference in the world. Get it as light as you can. I haven't really had but a peek of views through trees, but I think I will get one on the top of Mount Moosilauke. It is overcast, but I'm pretty sure we'll have a view because we are not in the clouds. Oh, kind of makes you feel small, huh? So beautiful. Unfortunately, there was not much of a view today, but that's okay because I'm feeling good. My legs feel great, and I am enjoying my hike today. My feet are wet, but it's okay. It's not too cold up here. It cooled down. The high was supposed to have been in the 70s whenever it reaches its peak. And lows, I think, in the 50s tonight, maybe low 60s. Going downhill, and with all of these rocks, it's just very slow and tedious. Hello, I've been going downhill for a very long time. My pace today was very slow, as it will be throughout here going forward. I have a decision to make. I called and talked to Bud. When Miss Janet was driving us to the drop-off point, she told us about a high water detour. She said this morning she could hear rocks being pushed down the river, and she seemed concerned, and she told us about a high water detour and told us, you know, to be cautious. And when Miss Janet talks, I listen because she knows what she's talking about. I did talk to some northbounders who crossed it and then crossed my path. And one of them, who is tall, said it came up to his knees. When I crossed it in 2016, it was about ankle deep to maybe lower shin deep. So I just passed someone going northbound and asked him if he crossed the river, and he said no, he took the road and said the road is closed. So I guess meaning there's no danger of being hit by a car on that road. But I am 5'2", small boned, and I weigh considerably less than I did when I started the trail, and I just don't want to take a chance. There was a hiker last year who died from trying to cross a swollen stream, and I'm just not willing to take a chance. So I'm going to take the detour. It doesn't say how long the detour is, it just says it's lengthy. So that is what I am going to do. We have had no rain today, for which I've been grateful. My knees are hurting a little bit from all of this downhill, I guess. Maybe I'm coming down a little too hard. But I mean, even when there were rocks and I was going slow, they were hurting a little bit. Not sure why. And my lower back is also hurting. I think probably everything is thrown off because there's so little weight in my pack. So my posture is probably different than it usually is. So it has been what I would call an easy hike, a relatively easy hike, mostly because I'm slack packing. And also, I mean, there was quite a climb, aside from being slippery and dangerous and steep. But it didn't seem that bad because I had a very light pack. I also gotta say that my recollection was that it was a very wide river. You can probably look it up on the YouTubes and find video of it. I don't know off the top of my head what it is called, but it is in Glencliff, New Hampshire. I forgot to mention that the slack pack was $25 and it was 45 minutes to get there and then 45 minutes when they take us back to the trail tomorrow. So really, that's a steal. The hostel itself was $35, and then they have all sorts of things you can purchase, snacks and stuff, and laundry is $8, 4 to wash, 4 to dry. The other place was $40 for the bunk and $30 for, I think they called it hiker services, and that was pickup and drop off, and the shuttle to the Walmart. And granted, that was a 30-minute drive from the trail to that hostel, so I can understand why they're charging that fee. But just in case you're interested, thought I would let you know. The name of that stream is Oliverian Brook.